What's up, y'all? Sawtooth Dave. Where's that Sawtooth at? We got started the right way. Sawtooth Dave. Hope y'all had a great week. Mine was super busy thanks to you guys. So we rocked. You guys absolutely kicked ass on this whole project. Me trying to generate some funds for, people in West North Carolina. It's getting cold as hell there. I don't know if you've seen any of the latest and greatest, but Arizona, we haven't got anything. Like, it's literally been in the hundreds until really, really recently, and now it's kind of like upper 90s. And then the last 2 days, the switch got flipped. There's like 40 in the morning, 40s in the morning, and like 70 in the afternoon, which is gorgeous for the afternoon, but it's a huge cold switch for us. I can only imagine with those people that don't have heat, power. It's got to be rough being in freezing. Kind of like, just one of those things. Let's do the regrinds first. All right. I really want to thank you guys. Let me just take one pause for a second. I want to thank you guys, the guys who reached out, who wanted to donate to me personally. And I'm going to kind of want to explain why I didn't take your personal donations, because I'm not an organization, and I want the money that you donate to be transparently. It came from here and went to there, kind of thing. I use my PayPal account for like my multivitamins, Apple, whatever services, Spotify, Audible, all those things, that the subscriptions that come straight out of PayPal, or a lot of them do anyhow. So I didn't want to get that confused. I didn't want to convolute things, and I want to be as transparent as possible. A lot of these things with the posting socially is like, it all makes sense to you in your mind when you say it, and then you realize somebody else can interpret it in a different way, and you kind of feel like an asshole. So I didn't anticipate you guys wanting to donate to me. First of all, like, to help these people. But the people who did make donations, regardless of where you did, I suggested 828 Strong, but that's just an organization that I had heard was doing good stuff by people in that area. So, if you donated at all, thank you so much. The people who showed up to buy knives, trade and buy knives, and all that stuff, like, thank you very much. Mission was definitely accomplished. I think what I'm gonna do at the end of this one is kind of show you what's left for the sale. At this point, like, we've kind of sort of met my personal goal of the amount of money that I wanted to send, but I'm fine with sending some more. So, hey, we're going to keep rolling this thing. Obviously, the ones that I don't want to sell aren't going to be in this week. Some of the ones I showed you last week, I pulled back out of this one, and I added a few back into this one. So, you want to see that? It's at the end. I'm not trying to be a salesman, just letting y'all know. Regrinds for the week. So, I had done a regrind for Dave, and I was going to try to splice a video in here. Something's wrong with my editor. I can't get it to work. I'm not going to fool with it. So hopefully he'll show it on his Instagram eventually. But these are the ones I did for Paul. These are the ones I did do this week. Paul's always funny because we're in a different kind of knives, but we like the same kind of style, like acid stone wash, like doing work ourselves, putting grain and stuff, like texture, like, but a lot of he likes some color. I don't like color, but a lot of the more industrial style looks to nice. But anyway, when Paul sends knives, he was like telling me the model name, what he wants done to it. And I was like, man, we're in a different kind of knife, so I don't even know what model it is, bro. So we had to slow down a little bit and get it, but I think we got it figured all out. So let's say little guy number 1, which is kind of the plain blasted looking tie. This one had a flat, but now it's hollow ground. So let's see if I can show you the tip. Let's see if I can angle it where y'all can see that a little bit. Yeah, so nice and a cute little tip now on this little guy. So more of a EDC style for most people. Not for me, but for most people. So the little guys are kind of fun sometimes. Like, like, I may just say this because, like, while I'm getting this other one out, a lot of people, I don't know why this is. It just seems to be a thing that I've seen a couple times. Like, one knife will get done and get kind of put out there. And if people want the same thing, like it, like, if you got a knife, you want a regrind, or you want an idea, send it my way. We'll figure it out. That's basically what I'm trying to say. This one's a Todd Knife and Tool. I recognize the TKT, but I don't know what model it is, or who makes it, or any other stuff. So y'all tell me, or don't, just know. That's fine either way. But I think this one, look-wise, because it's kind of like that dark stone wash in the frame, kind of worn look. I like that worn look, and that kind of goes just good with that. I like the look of that a lot. So I'm kind of hoping he leaves this one alone, but if he asks the stone washes, it'll look cool too. But it's different textures, different views. So, like, I'm starting to kind of know Paul. He's kind of like a frequent flyer at this point. So like, I kind of get what he wants, and he kind of understands how to tell me what he wants. So it kind of works out good. This little guy, I don't know what the name of this one is. When he first sent it, I was like, how are you even open that? Because he had already done a, sorry, I'm turning right the way so y'all see it. He did a flip or delete to it. So I think he flicks it, but it's so tight for me. It's hard to get my fat fingers in there to get it flicked. But little regrind for that one. Kind of a little more of a slicer upper, which I kind of like a lot. I think this one's a cool knife. Like stylistically, I like how this one all turned out. He'll probably end up acid stone washing it, but if he don't, it's still cool like it is. You know, none of these little things are really my cup of tea. Like I ain't going out and buying them, but I still enjoy working on them and working with them. This one was a little bit of a confusion word-wise because he had originally said Nightmare. Let me grab this one that I did for Denise a while back. She ended up donating it back. This is I think it's the Vortex. This is what I would call a Nightmare. And I guess the main thing to describe is like this hollow back goes way up higher than the front. And the front kind of blends in, but you can see how it kind of comes down, swoops down into that front grind. That's what I would call the Nightmare. This is my loose interpretation of, I think Nightmare was Mick Strider, if I'm not mistaken, was the first one to do it. Anyway, so I just end up doing just like a Tanto style, like flat grind up front, hollow in the back. And I think it kind of worked well for this knife. Like I think it just kind of sort of has a different look to it now. There's a little discoloration in here. I'm not 100% happy with how that tip of that came out, but I don't know if y'all can see it in the video or not. But overall, pretty happy with that knife. And I'm thinking he's going to acid stone wash this one because look, does it not need to be acid stone washed? Look at this, the only shiny thing on the whole thing. Of course, it needs to be acid stone washed. Anyway, number for Paul. Paul, hope you enjoying, bro, and thanks for sending more my way. I am still taking regrinds if y'all want regrinds. I have to back off the actual like machine shop work because like there's only so much time, first of all, and then secondly, I still have issues with that mill. I've mentioned a few times before, but I got work in from Josh, which I will try to get your stuff done this coming week. Josh also was a huge supporter and ended up buying a few, and then we traded for one because he liked what I had done on the PNP that I had. That originally started looking like this, but mine was acid stone wash and also had cut that groove in there for my finger flicking. But he wanted basically me to kind of produce that for this one, and I was like, you know, I don't know if I can cut a straight line right now the way my mill's sitting. So like I could try it if you want me to risk your knife, but I would rather not. And he's like, yeah, that's just. And he offered the trade instead, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, let's do a trade. So we ended up trading for that one for him. But Josh, I'll get to your stuff this week hopefully. With the sales, the wheeling and dealings, all that stuff. You know, sometimes like I kind of have a network of friends that I tend to trade with. It's seemingly that way. It's not like I'm close to other people because there's going to be another one in the end here, or a story that y'all understand. But you know, in that network, once you've done 1-2 trades with somebody, you kind of get the feel for if they're cool with it, like how they're going to be. Like some people like pristine knives, never touched. Don't do a deal with me if that's what you want, because almost guaranteed, unless I tell you otherwise, I've been in that knife, done something to it, almost without doubt. Anywho, having said that, like once you get familiar with people, you kind of know what they like and dislike, and you work with people more, I guess, that way. So anyway, Denise wanted that Tanto Degman, and she had this Satu a while. She said it's time to move it on down. I had moved the other Satu. Well, actually, Will had requested it first. So it got sent to Will. He's either going to buy it or trade for it. So hopefully he buys it so we can send some more money. But if he trades, it's going to be something that I can turn around and sell. And hopefully he'll just sell it. I'll wait a week or two more and I'll just get the money instead. This one is kind of special, and I'll explain kind of why. But the first thing I want to point out on this one is not my regrind. This is BGM. But look how sexy of a regrind that is. That dude can grind. God, he can grind, man. So I'll get that good one day. But, you know, he's got years ahead of me already. And, man, you can definitely tell. That dude does great work. Phenomenal work. I love the way that blade grinded. And I remember I paid extra at the time. Oh, I think I was already grinding when I got this knife, too. So, it's, you know, she's had it about a year or so, I think. Quote me, but I think it's somewhere in that realm. Maybe more. Maybe I hadn't grind yet, but either way, like this, phenomenal grind. This one does have the scale that I made. Indication is kind of like this. ball marks that are, you know, this way instead of circular pattern. Where's my DLC? Sorry, twisting around. Stock. Mine. It's subtle, but that's kind of sort of the difference. And then also, you notice that the lanyard hole ain't there and it's full tie backspacer. If y'all have not followed the channel for a number of years, I made these and pretty much all that documentation for all that. I struggled with the finishing and all that stuff for a while. All that's documented in videos in the past. I don't label my YouTube videos like I should, so you can find and search the shit. But if you really care and want to see that process, that's was back then. When I still worked at the machine shop. But anyway, I'm super proud to see that it had been used. You can see the wear, especially around the pivot and that sort of area. Right in here, it's got a little wear. But I love a knife that has wear marks in it. Like, it just shows the class that a knife's been used. Like, I don't know. To me, I love that. I'd much rather have a knife like this than a pristine one that doesn't have any marks on it. Personally, it just looks like it's new. And if that's what you're into, is new looking knives, hey, more power to you. More power to you. If I own the knife for a length of time, like I like the knife, I'm going to use the knife, I want it to be beat up and look like that. Me personally, okay? So, like, having said that, I'm alluding into this and alluding into what I was getting to a minute ago with meeting new people to trade with. I heard his name through Will a bunch, and I've never met the guy. I think we're friends, Facebook friends now. Bob, and I won't try to butcher your last name, bro. But it's kind of funny. So Will and I had worked out our trade. If you haven't seen Will's video, please go watch it. You can see the excitement here, you see and hear the excitement from Will and his latest, like, holy shit, this trade is good. So, like, I love it, bro. So this is one of the knives I got in from Will. Had originally thought about keeping it, modifying the tie. I posted a picture on it on Friday, and like a lot of people were surprised it still looked the way it did, or what I was going to do to it. And this is my thoughts on it now. I've owned the Praetorian in the past. When he first came out with the Praetorian, well, he at the time was Praetorian A and a Praetorian G, and the A became a T, and I don't think he does the G's anymore, or I don't know. I get confused. Like, people that are really into Medfords probably can tell me all the other stuff. I just know that we had originally ordered the aluminum one. He said we couldn't do it aluminum, and then we had to do it in tie, and it was like a upcharge. This was back in the day, but basically the difference was this was the 3/16 blade, and it was like the 1/8 inch scales, which I hate the 1/8 inch scales. Something about this knife, Praetorian in general, I love the look of. I've never owned a drop point version either. I never owned a full tie. I love the look of them, and then when I get in my hands, they're not my favorite knife. There's nothing against them. I love the way they look. I still like enjoy looking at it, and it's not a bad knife to even play. But I carried it for a day, which was Friday, and I realized at the end of that day that if I kept the knife, it's going to get devalued a pretty good bit by my mods. And it's pretty much looking pretty. And I met like I said, Bob, who was the previous owner, and another owner that I can't remember his Instagram handle, hit me up when I posted it on Instagram that he used to own the knife. So it's kind of cool. It's got history through the community. Obviously, Will used to own it too. Oh, as I just dropped the damn thing. Luckily, it hit a box. Let me grab it real quick. That was freaking dumb, wasn't it? All right. Anywho, so I thought, you know what, man? Before I go to hacking in on this thing, let me just see if I can move it as is. And actually, Bob decided he wanted it back, so I'm gonna send it back to Bob. If he doesn't end up grabbing it, like once he gets it back, if he don't end up grabbing it, then Brother Jose offered me a trade for it, or I might sell it. I don't know, but I think the value is better left untouched on this one, especially since it's not like one of my favorite models. It's not like this Luther. Like this Luther has a bunch of sharp edges. Obviously, it came to me with some blems, but just like I got to clean this one up and make it how I want to do it and blast it, do something with the wood, or maybe put a different insert in there or something. I got to do something differently with it to make it more mine. But this is a knife, it's a $1,000 knife from Eric Luther. It could easily sell for $800 even as is, or send it back to Luther, let him fix it, and probably be pretty close to that same $1,000 value. But this is one that I would put my time into to fix it and then keep it, like me personally, versus like say that Praetorian, which that's still devaluing it. So like if you look at things like value, like some of us like pristine knives, some of us like hacked in knives. I like my knives all hacked up. I guess I don't know how else to put that to make it make sense other than I love modern knives, and I think it kind of sort of drives you deeper into the mechanics of knives and how to learn more about what you're doing. And obviously, y'all seen me do detent mods and that sort of thing. So these are the steps that you got to take to get there. Me personally, that I took to get there. And it just starts with taking a knife apart and, slight modification, add acid stone wash, whatever. Like, it's fun. It's really fun. Yeah, let's do this one. So, sorry, I thought I had something crawling on me for a second. I'd sold Evan my 24 a little while back. It's a freaking fly. I sold Evan my 24 that was like the older generation before the Tri-Way. On Foster Bronze, I really enjoy the Foster Bronze on the older generation. And I got this one from Will from the trade, which is the Tri-Way. Show you the right way. Tri-Way 24 and S45 with a full tie scale, which, Hinder, why don't you make non-pocketed full tie scales? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I don't get it, dude. Like, I want a bruiser. I don't want a little lightweight, hauled out knife. I know I'm unique in that. But come on, 95% of y'all probably agree with Hinder, but the other 5% of us, like full weight. Give me some full weight. Every now and then, throw dog, bone every now and then. Like, you're going to make 200 of them. Make 2 that don't have hollowed pockets. Do something for us. Anyway, glad to have that one back in the collection. It kind of replaced that other, 24. So now I have the full tie 24. Make me feel all warm and fuzzy. And I got my, trilogy. So if y'all didn't know, Will got the SMF and the XL. The XL I bought from birthday and had it less than a week and basically shipped it to Will. I don't think that I'll buy any more Striders, but if the one comes through here, it's fine. I still have the SMF that I may or may not show it later. I'll probably do a collection video when all this craziness is over with, to kind of show you how much I get it reduced, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I'm all over the place today. I actually recorded this video already and then tried to put in the editor, and the editor said, nope, not happening today. So we re-recording it because it was all, sections of videos and I couldn't put them all together on my phone because I don't know how to do it other than that editor. Brendan asked about this XM, or I'm sorry, I'm off the XMs. Project X scale. This was the original one that I built mine with. I think it went to Carco for a minute, came back, and then ended up going on Scotch and Things Steve's. And then now it's back again. I want to build another Project X, and I'll probably do a reblade to make it fatter. But in the meantime, Brendan had asked about it, so I may sell this to Brendan. I'm just posting a video so he can kind of sort of see what it looks like. I'll probably do it. I'll probably send him one on Instagram anyhow too. So let's see. 17 minutes. I'm going to try to do this briefly. What's left on the sale. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible. I've already met my goal on what I want to send to North Carolina. It was a personal goal, but I've met it already. At this point, I wouldn't mind getting a little more funds to help me possibly fix this mill out here. But I'm fine with saving and waiting too. So it doesn't really matter. If nobody else buys nothing else, I don't care. I'm not saying I'm not going to use this money for North Carolina, but I've already kind of got the amount of money I want to send the first time. I may do it again in a month. I may do it again in another couple of months, is try to get some more money up and send it down there. Because I think that's probably what's going to happen is they're getting a lot of money infused right now. I know a lot of the roads are getting rebuilt and that sort of thing. And they're trying to get power back up on these areas. But like there's, clothes, money for fuel or for generators. That's going to be a thing in the future. And I don't think a lot of these people are kind of sort of thinking about this. These agencies or the whatever, the charities are necessarily thinking about the future as much as the right now. You need both, right? So that's kind of what my thought process is. Anywho's, I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep dragging up stuff, but as I'm showing you the things, I'm just going to show you what's left for sale. I'd already showed you most of these from last week. A few I'm going to add in here. This is the one I got back in from trade for Josh. Once again, if you want this modified, let me know. We can do that. The Nightmare Grind on that one. The Mofo. This is a new one I'm putting in here. It's the Kaimano. This one does have a slight bit of detent lash. Let's see if I can show you. Hope you can see it. It's just a slight little bit. And the whole thing's been acid or aluminum stone washed. And obviously the blade's acid washed. So the carbon fiber is not like shiny. It's kind of bumpy now. Gives you a little more traction. What else? Pretty much everything from last week with the addition of the Gigantes again. And if you saw something, oh, I can't say everything from last week because y'all don't know what I sold. Idiot. All right, so the Gigantes, the Fat Daddy that's been modified pretty heavily. It's actually a frame off another one. And Omble, kind of surprised Will didn't hit me up about that one because he's an Omble huge fan. The Sin Eater with that huge mod there, and the Acid Stonewash. I can't remember what else I did to this one. The RSK Paragon that I made that scale for. Once again, I don't care if these sell or don't sell, but if they do, cool. If they don't, that's fine too. The modified used to be like the 5-inch long knife. The modified made it a little shorter. Now the blade proportions, the actual blade itself is shorter, but from here to here is a little bit better. I know Crusaders always have that weird look. My wife hates the way they look because the blades are shorter than the handles, but you know, another Crusader, Figures for Prey on this one. I don't actually know what the other one's called. I always called it Excalibur. I don't know what it's really called. The Skyke, which I believe I did modify this one a little bit, but I don't remember. I can't remember. It's definitely I know I modified the finish on it because that's the Stonewash and Blast and all that stuff, but I can't remember. Yeah, this one's Phosphor Bronze. I can't remember if I did anything to that Phosphor Bronze or not. And then the Reblade one that I did that to the Skyke, that's still available too. All right, ain't got interested in any of those. Hopefully I didn't waste your time too much the last 2 or 3 minutes. Interested in anything of those, let me know. I am working some trades, and there probably was some different stuff in, and possibly some of these might go out for trade. So we'll see what happens. I know I got 1 or 2 that I put out that may have possibly been a trade that are coming back that'll probably add back into this mix. But you know, like from time to time, it's fun to shake the collection up a little bit. Like I know, like I'm getting more into custom. So like the Gigantes, we'll use it for example here. It's a relatively new knife. I've never taken this one apart. At least I don't think I have. Yeah, maybe I have taken it apart. I can't remember. But if I haven't done a whole lot with this knife. I've carried it and used it, but like you don't see a whole lot of wear on that blade. There is some wear on it, but not a whole lot. They can tell I haven't really abused it yet. It's just one that like, it's a really good production knife. I'm just not a production knife kind of guy that much anymore. I'm definitely more into customs. So like I'm definitely striving for more of that custom made. So the Medfords don't do it for me as much as they used to. I still love the knives. They're still big old bruisers. They just don't do it as much. That's kind of like the Praetorian. That's kind of what I was explaining about the Praetorian. That's the reason I ain't really hacking into it too much. I just much prefer the customs. So like some of the like the RSK and the Crusader and all that, the Skykes, like I'm fine with keeping that stuff. But the other production-y stuff, I think the collection is going to start weaning down on that, whether they go for sale or end up being giveaways or whatever I end up doing with them. I'm going to start leaning it down. Like there's a few productions, and I even got one this past week that's coming that I just wanted to try, just to have in the collection, that sort of thing. So, you know, like here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. Like it's funny how you move through the knife collection and what you kind of, you know, desire at a certain time and then back off another time, that sort of thing. Like me getting back into motorcycles has kind of changed how I view a lot of the knives. I'm like, okay, is that knife worth rear suspension for my bike? Like that's kind of how my mind's working on it now. So like I'm like, you know, at a certain point, I don't know, like it's good to have perspective when you're all like, I was super focused on just knives for so long that now getting my focus drawn to another hobby, and even realizing, hey, I'm spending a lot too much on these things. I should back off and kind of get the craziness like level down to a minimum, you know. Like I know y'all know I'm crazy. Like I just bought the XL last week and it's already gone. Like who does that, man? Like I don't know, me, I guess. So anyway, seeing Scotch do his thing too. Like, and y'all see that S&T that Shane made for Steve? Shane had shown me some pictures of it, like kind of a raw form, like he just had cut it out. I don't think he had done any of the bevels or anything, just basically the outside profile of the knife. And I'm like, it's probably going to turn out to be a pretty badass knife. As soon as I saw it on Steve's, I was like, I'm ordering one. And I did. I got get Shane to work on one for me too. Kind of looking forward to that. And it's kind of cool to support your buddies in this community too, right? So y'all definitely did that for me last week and the efforts that I was trying to do. So once again, thank you, and hope you have a great week. And hopefully see you next week. All right. Y'all be cool. Later.